Hello, and you're very welcome along to Chadwick's Wexford clash for this Division 3 Round 6 clash. It's Wexford taking on Longford. The home side here have been out for maybe the last 5 or 6 minutes warming up. Longford have been out for maybe slightly longer. They've travelled down this morning. Big game for both sides for very different reasons. Wexford know a win today would almost guarantee them a place in the league final. They have a big game against Kildare next week. Wexford currently sit second in the table. Kildare are on top. They're just the same amount of points. It's just scoring differences, 33 points between the sides. Longford, on the other hand, are at the other end of the table. They're second from bottom. They know they need to get a win here today to have any hope of staying in Division 3 again next year. Longford come into today's game having only won one game to beat Offaly in round 3. They won that game 2-10 to 1-10. Aside from that, they've lost to Louth, they've lost to Kildare, they've lost to Down, and they've lost to Sligo. Wexford, on the other hand, again, almost a complete opposite record. They've won all their games besides one. They beat Offaly, they beat Clare, they lost to Down in round 3 before beating Sligo, and they beat Louth the last day out by 4 points. Before we go any further, we'll take a quick look at the two teams, starting with the home side, Wexford. They have one change, which we'll get to in a second, but in goals, they have Leanne Moore. Full back line there is number 2, Ashton Halligan. Number 17, Roisin Hughes, comes in there in place of number 3, Shauna Murphy. Number 4, Katie English, makes up the rest of that full back line. Half back line there is Orla Keogh, Roisin Murphy and Karen Tompkins. Eva Cullen and Ciara Banville are the midfielders. And moving into the forward line with Amy Walsh, Emma Tompkins and Sarah Donnelly. And their full forward line, Sarah Harding-Kenny, Aisling Murphy and Katrina Murray. That is the Wexford starting 15. Longford, we were told there might be a late fitness change. We haven't got confirmation on that. So we're going to go ahead and announce the 15 as we have it. And we'll keep an eye out for the one change we might be half expecting. But in goals there, they've got Ruth Jones. Full back line is Shauna McCormack. Full back there, number 3, Emily Riley. And in the other corner, Emma Doris. Half back line, Phoebe McCormack, Maria Kelleher and Hannah Glennon. The midfielder, this is where we're expecting maybe one change. Number 8, Grace Shanahan is in there. But number 9, Fumi Palaba, was going through a late fitness test They still have their bibs and stuff on, so we'll keep an eye out whether she will start there at number 9. Into their forwards, then we've got Ella O'Reilly's at 10, 11 is Cueva Lohan, and 12 is Caitlin McKeown. Their full forward line, who they'll be hoping to do the damage and get the scores from today, is made up of Clodagh Lohan, Ella Lynn, and Kate Shannon. So they're the starting 15s as we have them. As we said a minute ago, Fumi Talava was going through a late fitness test. There is a chance that number 20 there, Ella Duggan, will replace her. We'll just keep an eye on that. As we said a minute ago, big game for both teams. Second last round of the league. Big game for two very different reasons. One looking to get promoted, one looking to stay in Division 3. But either way, it is an important one from both sets of teams. Wexford are managed by Lizzie Kent. This is Lizzie's third year in charge. She was previously the joint manager with John Nolan. John now has taken a slight step back. He's still involved with the backroom team, but Lizzie is the outright manager. She played herself, of course. She's a stalwart in ladies sports around this area, heavily involved with Wexford News. First played herself back in the 0-7 All-Ireland Intermediate final that she lost to Leitrim. Looking back on last year's result from a Wexford point of view, they lost the Division 3 final, of course, lost that one to Roscommon by just a point. But we're going to pause here in Wexford Stadium for Ron Navian. So a national anthem is done, and thus we're nearly ready for the ball to be thrown in here. We were talking about Wexford just before the anthem. Now we'll have a quick look at Longford. They're managed by Alan Mullen. He was appointed only last November. He's a man who brings plenty of experience to this role. He was the manager at TUS Midlands. He managed them to a Lynch Cup final last year, won the Lynch Cup in fact. And interestingly enough, he was also a leader on Operation Transformation RTE's programme back in 2015. With a few injuries as well, Longford will be missing the likes of Lauren McGurry, Camilla Burke and Leanne Keegan. Burke in particular, she was very good the last day out against Sligo, and she will be a loss today, but Longford just have to regroup and move on without her. Last year in the league, they finished third in their group, which just kind of consolidated them, meant they weren't involved in promotion or relegation playoffs. And last year then in the championship, they were beaten by Clare in the quarter-final, a fairly heavy defeat, 3-11 to 4 points. They'll be hoping to go a little bit further than that this year, but at the moment all they're concentrating on is trying to stay in Division 3 for next year. Wexford, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, they were in last year's intermediate final, and of course the year before's intermediate final, so they have bags of experience heading into this game, but they will feel the need to get over the line at some point. They need to, besides just getting to these finals, they need to actually win these finals, so they'll be hoping this is the year. Last year they lost the league and All-Ireland, and they lost to Leinster as well, so they just need to get over the line, but fairness, they need to look at Longford here today first. This is the next stepping stone for Wexford to move on, but Longford need a win here today to keep in Division 4. They're just finished their huddle, and we're nearly ready for match referee Kieran Gould of Offaly to throw in the ball here in Wexford Park. Doesn't seem to be any late changes. There's even a bit of an embrace going on out there. It looks like Ashton Halligan gave a hug to one of the Longford players as she went past her, which is good to see a bit of friendliness. Be hugging at the end of the game. Will there be a few big tackles going in there? We know each other through college, but they're all coming out there, and Wexford are actually seem to have to change sides. We see they're going up to the other end of the field. Longford, I should say, are having to change sides, and it looks like Fumi Talava has started to see there in the centre of the field, so she passed that late fitness test as the Longford girls move from one end of the field to the other. Breeze will it be a factor today? The rain is kind of starting to come down a small bit. The breeze is a little bit swirling. It's hard to tell who it's really favouring. Flags at one end of the field seem to be going one way, and the other end of the field seems to be going the other way. If we look down towards where the attacking goal for Longford, it looks like Longford are kicking into the breeze. But then if you look down the other end, the flags are completely drab and dead altogether. So we'll just have to wait and see as the referee's going through his final checks. He's just about to throw in the ball. He's up and we're off, and the game is on, and we're starting here in Wexford. And it looks like Longford are onto the ball straight away. Doesn't come up immediately, but Wexford are onto it. They're onto the attack from the off there. They work that back as far as Murphy now. Murphy's really been their go-to player the last couple of years. She knocks that back inside. She's looking for the return. But Murphy, her sister Roisin, is going to hold on to it. Roisin feeds that back outside. Good ball in as far as Donnelly. Donnelly's inside. It just didn't bounce favourably. Longford were good. They were alert and they managed to pick up the ball there and they've worked it out now to Grace Shanahan. Grace Shanahan thought about that one, looked around, saw there wasn't many options, but just held on to it, was pace, and Longford hold on to that one. And no score is conceded in that first attack from Wexford. Good hand passing out the field up as far as Keown now. Caitlin gives that one on. She's looking for the return. She gets the return. Oh, it's slightly overhit, and Wexford have turned that on again. There's a real sense of urgency to this Wexford attack. That's a lovely ball into a bit of space. There's plenty of time here now for Murphy. She's going to take on the side of the Calder on the right, goes back inside, goes back as far as Wallace. Wallace on the left, Hurling. And looked like the umpire was saying that took a deflection. Half a block him in there. It's going to be a 45. There was maybe a chance of a score for Ashley Murphy. What about taking it on the right boot? They came back inside, gave it to Wallace. And we have resulted in a 45. But Wexford do look fairly alert and just vibrant and mad for a score at this stage. In last year's championship, incidentally, they scored 1670 in last year's championship. So they know where the posts are. They'll be hoping to do something similar in this year's championship. But as we said, the league is their priority at the moment. Speaking to Lizzie Kent before the game there, she's feeling up for this game. She thinks her side are doing well coming into this one. And she is hoping for a win today. 45 now decided to go shortward. Comes back outside as far as Keogh now. Orla Keogh picks it up. She's going for it over the 45. She has support there from Banville. Banville inside the D. Banville just took her eye off the ball. The ball goes to ground. Come out to Walsh again, who took the shot originally. Has she got the opening score of the game? It looks like it's just gone out to the left and wide, and that's the opening wide of the game going to win of the home side. That's Walsh. 2 shots for her in this game. Yet to convert, but she does look lively. She looks like she's getting the space. That's what the management will be happy about. You're creating these chances. You will eventually get the score. That one is dropping again. Wexford seems to have picked up that loose ball. They picked it up there through Harding Kenny. Harding Kenny on the 21 goes back inside as far as Tompkins. Tompkins has it now. Again, in no huge hurry, just holding on to. Look at the space coming in. There's runners off the shoulder, left and right. They picked it up again. Now another chance to unleash a shot here from Murray. Katrina Murray on the left. She goes to the shot and just sneaks that just over the crossbar. And we have the opening score of the game coming from Katrina Murray. Look at the space coming in. There's runners off the shoulder, left and right. They picked it up again. Now another chance to unleash a shot here from Murray. Katrina Murray on the left. She goes to the shot and just sneaks that just over the crossbar. And we have the opening score of the game. One is being kicked in from the Wexford point of view. They'll be hoping to win that ball almost immediately from this kick out. But 1 point to no score. The opening score there coming from Katrina Murray. Katrina got 1-1 the last day out against Louth. She's in a rich vein of form. That's brilliantly caught by Walsh, who's been very prominent in the early stage of this game. She's fouled. She's looking to go. She goes back the field into a bit of space. Back as far as Cullen plays it inside again. She's looking for a return. Cullen gets it as well. Going forward, going strong. Plenty of time and space. Looking at the post on her right boot. Has that one gone between the posts? It's high, but it's gone to the right and wide. The second wide of the day for Wexford. It's been all Wexford in this opening 3.5 minutes or so. They've only 1 score on the board, but have had all the possession. And they'll be happy to just keep Longford pinned inside their own 45. So it's Ruth Jones now. Fumi Talaba was making a quick run there. Ruth Jones decides not to give it to her. This side says to go to the other direction. That's bouncing. It's dropping. Who's it going to drop? It's dropped to a Wexford player again. And it's Tompkins over there on the far side of the field. She feeds that one on. Back as far as Emma Tompkins, her sister, into a bit of space. Now there's a chance for Murray. She's already scored a point. Can she get a goal? They did open up for her, but she's taking such action. But it's just gone to the left and wide. Maybe she had too many options there. It didn't look like the goals were given and just wanted to be struck. She maybe took an extra second. Things did close in around her. She eventually hit back to the left and wide. So the score remains 1 point to no score. Just 4 minutes gone here in this round 6 Division 3 clash. Now Longford look like they're going to get going. First chance for them to make a foray into the Wexford attacking zone. Grace Shannon goes back inside. Back inside as far as McCormack. McCormack is stood up there by a wall of Wexford players. Back to Shanahan again. Grace takes a couple of solos. Back across the field. She's involved with Longford Slacksters, who of course beat Mullinahone in the All-Ireland Intermediate Club. Grace was named player of the match in that game. That one is knocked inside. That one is good ball. It's just misread there at the last minute there by Lynn. And it's picked up back there by Halligan. Halligan who picks it up. She's looking for a return. She doesn't get it on this occasion. Back as far as Donnelly. Donnelly goes back out the field. Who's over there? Looks like Ashley Murphy who's come all the way out the field. Trying to pick up the ball here. Her marker has followed her all the way out. Clever low ball inside. Looking to get in as far as Roisin Murphy. Roisin loses it this time. As it looks like it was low and over there. Cleveland Loma picked that one up. Longford just trying to work something out of this. The ball is a little bit slow, a little bit inaccurate. It goes to ground. The referee says there was a push there and it's going to be a free out. And maybe a chance for Longford to steady themselves a small bit and work something from here. So it looks like it's going to be Queeve McCormick who's going to take this, going all the way up to where the foul was committed. Is there anyone running for? There is. It looks like Caitlin McKeown is out there in front of her. She tries to go the opposite direction this time. And she's looking for a turn. She is. She doesn't get it though. And Longford are starting to come a short little hand pass into Shanahan again. Grace has it, takes a couple of solos, goes back inside. Longford just want to get every player near a touch of the ball at this stage. Waller, we were 5.5 minutes in, and some of the players inside that forward line haven't got a touch of the ball, and that's what they're trying to work here. Grace Shannon seemed to give a signal there. She's like, I'm going to give in a Gary Owen. Does that work out? It doesn't. There was a push to the referee, says. It looked like Clodagh Lohan had come out, she was pushed in the back, and now it's going to be a free in. That looks like Grace Shannon is going to take herself. Grace got 2 points the last day out against Sligo. Longford are really hoping to win with a real kind of relegation 6-pointer, we'll call it. Sligo did get the better of them in the end by 4 points. Does make things rather difficult for Longford now, but look at this driving forward is Lohan. Lohan has support if she wanted. She's going to go herself though. A lot of Wexford players around her. She tries to get her shot off, but that goes to the right and wide. The opening wide of the day for Longford, but they'll be encouraged the fact they're getting the ball down. They're working into more attacking areas. Just the finishing there wasn't quite what you might expect. Nicely taken kick out there. Worked up to Roisin Hughes. Hughes was wearing 17, but started today in place of Shauna Murphy. Referee there says there was a foul, and we're going to stop for a couple of seconds while Wexford regather themselves. It looks like Roisin Hughes is slightly holding her leg there. She managed to shake it off, and she takes that free. Good use of the boot up the line there. That one came through the laces, and now Wexford have it again. Running inside is Walsh. Walsh has it. Well, did she decide or was it taken off her? Either way, Riley of Longford came onto that really quickly. Just spotted the danger, managed to cut it out. Back to Grace Shanahan again. Lovely little kick pass inside, but it's well read. But Shannon gets a second chance again. Now there's space inside if she can exploit that. Lovely ball over the top, maybe slightly too much on it. It's well read over there in the far side of the field by Katie English. Katie English is dispossessed though. Now Longford have it. Now they have a chance. They have a few numbers over there. Lynn has it now. Lynn has stood up and she's forced back to their playmaker Shanahan again. Shanahan has it, takes a solo, maybe put too much on that for herself. I think she just took her eye off the ball. Didn't really know where the pass is going and it's turned over. And now there is a bit of room inside. Can Wexford knock the ball inside and that's something there is. In as far as Aisling Murphy again. Aisling has it. There's one player in front of her. That player is Riley. Still Murphy has it. Is she going to go on the right foot? Oh no, this is effort. And it's got into the roof of the net. Aisling Murphy with her first effort on target. That's time. That's something there is. In as far as Aisling Murphy again. Aisling has it. There's one player in front of her. That player is Riley. Still Murphy has it. Is she going to go on the right? Ruth Jones and Millie had taken a step forward and Aisling Murphy exploited it. Now it's 1-0 to no score. Wexford here. The fan here will be delighted how that has started. Aisling Murphy got 8-11 in last year's championship. She finished the second highest score behind there of Leash, but she started today's game really well. After scoring a goal against Louth, now she's got a goal here against Longford as well. Can Wexford do some to really capitalise? They have the upper hand at the moment. That time Murphy just wasn't quick enough to pass too firmly hit, but Longford will need to get an answer pretty quickly. 1-1 to no score this game. Could get away from them if they don't get on the board fairly quickly, and I presume that is what their management are screaming in at them at the moment. It works them. They're back inside their own full back line. It's not where they want to be. That ball isn't brilliantly controlled by Shanahan again, but she works hard. But she's lost it. It's turned over quickly there by Murray. Murray plays it inside. Now Wexford have 3 players over. It's knocked inside to Hardy Kenny. Hardy Kenny comes to the shot. She makes it goal. And she finds the net again. She took a step to the left. She took a step to the right. She went back and forth. But she works hard. But she's lost it. It's turned over quickly there by Murray. Travelling Longford support would like to see. They've been hit for 2 goals now inside the guts of 2 minutes. 2-1 to no score. It's not a scoreboard they'll be looking up at with any level of happiness or anything like that. But Wexford have been very good in the last couple of minutes and they've been ruthless. When their goal was on, they have went for it. Longford just have to regain a bit of composure. Shannon then plays it outside into a bit of space. Lohan has come all the way back to try and get involved in this. Lohan has it now. She tries to go past 2 or 3 players. Gets the 1-2 and goes on. He's in as far as Kelleher. Kelleher has it now. She feeds that back across the field. Back as far as Shauna McCormick. Shauna plays that on in as far as McKeown. McKeown has it. Now they're running. Now they're starting to look menacing as they come forward in groups. Here we go. Flying forward. Now there's stand for Longford. It just didn't stay in O'Reilly's hand. It's still there. There's still stand for Longford. This is going to be the only score for them of the day. Hello O'Reilly. Hello O'Reilly. The left boot. It goes high. Has it snuck over the crossbar. The umpires are slow to go. Oh, it fell into the back of the net. Went in over the goalie. And what a the umpires are slow to go. Oh, it fell into the back of the net. O'Reilly with that audacious effort. It's over the goalie's head and into the back of the net. We've seen that twice now today. The goalie has maybe been slightly off their line and slided. The referee there's having a word with the Longford players. They didn't quite see that what is going on. We might keep an eye on that or we'll see what the officials have to say. But either way, we're going to get going here for another minute as Wexford come onto the ball. They work it up and down the field. Now Wexford have it again, another chance to go forward here through Cullen. Cullen has it. And Cullen has been dispossessed. I think it was a gum shield issue there. The Cuivaloa had to go off the field. She wasn't aware of the gum shield. And match referee Kieran Gold told her to go off and get one. If she has it, she's back onto the field now. Longford back up to 15. That's Wexford come on the attack now through Tompkins. Tompkins still has it in and out through 3 or 4 players up to the 21. Is she going to pull the trigger? Yes. That one half blocked. Has it got enough power? No. And the umpires don't agree with it. Yes, one umpire does. One umpire gave wide. One umpire gave a 45. I think it is going to be a 45. And that shot was half blocked. It took the sting out of it. It's gone out. It's going to be a 45 now. The referee decided to go with her. He's given as a wide. I think the umpires had a chat between them, but I think one of them was right, one of them was wrong, and we've gone with the one who was wrong. Either way, we're going to go on a kick out coming from Ruth Jones. Longford got out of jail there, a small they didn't give away a 45 that they did in fact give away. Now they're on the ball again through Lohan. Lohan has it, turns inside, acres of space in front of her. He plays it into space. It's 2-on-2 inside. Lovely ball, a lovely ball for the forward Shannon there, trying to get onto it, but she's well marshaled on the far side of the field by English. They're both fighting for it. It's on the ground, it's scrambling. The game is alive again since that goal. Now it's 2-1 to a goal. So Longford have seen they're back in this game again and they're fighting for Everton on the far side of the field now with a stoppage. The referees decide which way is this free going to go, what's going to happen. In a way, that goal just has brought life back to things again. That finished by Ella O'Reilly. High loop and ball drops into the net. They're just joining us. The 2 goals for Wexford came one from Aisling Murphy and the second was from Sarah Harding. Their point coming from Katrina Murray. They're all the scores, and the referee decided that was going to be a hot ball or a throw ball. He's thrown it up, and now it's going to be a free to Longford. Longford looking to take quick. There's a runner inside. That one is spotted, knocked inside. Can they get it? He's blocked, brilliantly blocked inside. That ball was destined for the top corner. The hand came in, it's similar. Still a chance for Longford. Can they get a shot away? Another brilliant block. It's come back out. Lowe has it again for a third time, which is dispossessed. As Roisin Hughes, who comes on Longford, think alive for the run through, but she managed to exploit it, get on the ball, and now the danger has been averted once again, and it's Wexford who are on the attack. They're coming in waves now, 3 and 4 players, all driving forward. Again, it's 1-on-1 inside. This could be dangerous. Aisling Murphy. It's not over the top. Can she stop the again? She decides to this time, and the referee decided to went down on her knees. He made connection there with Ruth Jones in the Longford goal, and it's going to be a free out, but there was danger there. Maybe if Aisling Murphy had just hit that first time on the ground. We talked about it before. Lizzie Kent, who's heavily involved with Wexford Youths, as a soccer player, she would have said, just hit that on the ground and see what happens. But we might have another chance for Aisling Murphy as the game goes on. She's already had a goal and definitely has her eye in, but now Longford have a chance to go again to Doris. Doris picks that up in a bit of space. Drops the shoulder, gives a little show and go. One wasn't the best pass in the world to Shanahan, but doesn't manage to get it, and Wexford have turned it over again. A couple of players calling for inside. All the way out here now is Murray. Murray already has a point today. He plays that on, and there's just lots of Wexford players all coming forward. Tompkins there now. Tompkins feeds that one on. We're between the 265s now. The down comes across the field to Banville. Famous name in Wexford football, of course. Taking a couple of solos across now. Still in no real hurry. They're 2-1 to a goal up. 13 coming up on 14 minutes gone in this one. Wexford are playing this around now. Looking for a slight weakness in that Longford defence to try and exploit it, to try and work something from it. That one's played out to the wing. Good ball. And is there a chance? There is. As Wexford go forward here up to the 21. The ball is just dropped on this slippy wet surface. The referee says a foul there though. Dangerous type of surface. Dangerous type of day to be bouncing the ball. We've seen it happen there when it hits the surface. It just slides away. Sort of manager will be saying that to him half time. Try not to hop it, lad. Keep it solos. And now we have a free in to Wexford. It looks like it's Katrina Murray who's going to go over there and take it. She's wearing the white boots here today. But she's easily spotted. She already has one. Going to take this one out of the hand. She has the breeze. She'll notice there from throwing up that bit of grass. It's her first one of the day. Never easy to kick in. Any kind of a breeze, not to mind even if it's with you, but sometimes it can be just as difficult. She goes with her right boot from the 21. Has she judged this one? Looks like she has judged that one to perfection, and that's her second score of the day. She got one from play and one from a free. And she's up and running, and so are Wexford again, 2-2 to a goal now. The score here after 15 minutes in this Division 3 round 6 clash. Ruth Jones now of Longford with the ball again. Decent kick. She was looking for Talaba. Talaba was dispossessed, and now it's getting as far as Murray again. Murray's onto this. He has the ball in hand now. Oh, she's dispossessed. That is back there again. He has it on. Just enough Longford players, enough strength in numbers back there to stop any huge issues happening back there. But again, it looked like there was a chance the ball was going to end up in the Longford net. The referee says there's a foul there now, a foul over there on the far side of the field to Donnelly, and it's going to be a free in. Longford goal leading a charm life now and again. And it's going to be a free in, and it's going to be Murray going to take this, very similar to where she scored from a couple of minutes ago. 1-1, as we mentioned, against Louth. 1-3 in the All-Ireland final last year. Going to take this one again going through the usual routine, throwing up the grass, checking which way the breeze is going. The crowd here remains silent and respectful as she takes this one with the right boot. Again, as she judges, she goes relatively low, but Ruth Jones is behind that all the way, and she clears it out, and Longford do not concede a score on this occasion. Cannon, good, strong running out of her. We saw that in Croke Park, as I mentioned earlier this year, when they took on Mullinahone. Goes back outside, still Longford on the ball. That looks like it was Glennon. Glennon gives it back to Slava. She takes the ball, bounces maybe too well for that occasion, and it's going to be, the referee decided she took too many steps, so it's going to be a free out. Or no, in fact, I got that wrong. Decided she was fouled there, and it is going to be a free to Longford that Shannon is going to take. Again, plenty of movement, but nothing too obvious. Shannon is looking around saying, who's looking for it? Who's looking for it? Eventually she decides to go, I'm going to go as long as I can, play it down the sideline, but just not accurate enough, and it's gone out over the line. And Wexford get the ball back down inside their own half. That one is played across again. Good work up there as far as Cullen. Cullen has it now. She feeds it on to Tompkins. Tompkins looks up, plays that one with the laces. Lovely ball into place. What a pass on to Walsh now. Walsh has the ending. Can she take it on from there? Lovely little pass inside again as far as Banville. Banville goes to the ground. But she fouled. The referee says no. The crowd here don't like that, but either way, the referee decided there was no foul there, and Longford have possession back again. Banville is still on the ground, incidentally. She's slowly getting up as the medics run into her. The game is going to stay on as Hardy Kenny takes on the ball, and now we've stopped. The Gould has decided we're going to have to stop as Banville is going to receive a bit of attention. So we're hoping she'll be able to play on. We see Lizzie Kent in front of us. Oh, the referee said no, we're not going to stop for any length of time. We're still playing on. Here, Banville is still up there around the 14-yard line. Looks to be okay, maybe winded. But either way, the game is, or maybe it's her ankle. The game is going on around her. Oh no, here we go again. Another time for Wexford, working inside, good running off the last piece. Just seemed to slip out of the Wexford attacker's hand, goes to ground, and Longford were quick enough there. Just get players in around it, smother her, and get the ball, and away we go from a Longford point of view. Ruth Jones is going to come out and take this one. Ciara Banville is still there going through a few calf stretches, it looks like they're just slightly off camera. She looks like she's probably going to be okay. She's up on her feet. And Longford take on the ball again. Good pass inside as far as Lohan. Lohan, who got a goal the last day out against Sligo. She plays that on. There's good running off the shoulder there from a Longford perspective. Back inside there. That was O'Reilly, the goal scorer. She feeds that one back as far as Kelleher. Kelleher now has support outside. She spotted it there through Glennon. Glennon gets it, but she's closed down immediately by two Wexford players. She has to come back inside as far as Kelleher now. She gives it back outside again. And Longford are kind of stuck in there between the two 65s. And back to Kelleher again, who started this move. Again, two or three Wexford players. It's not giving her any options, and they're forced to go fairly laterally, which won't be, I suppose, something that the Longford fans and managers will be happy about. But now they've worked something. Now it is far as Caitlin McEwen. She has it now, coming across the field again. No space. Wexford have been really, really well. Been really diligent. Been really disciplined. And what has the referee decided now? He's pointing. He's not giving a huge amount of direction. It's going to be a free to Longford. Wexford are just maybe overzealous in their attacking style or in their defending style. It's going to be a free. Longford are going to take it. It's going to be taken by Hannah Glennon. Hannah goes relatively short, but it's picked up brilliantly there by Clodagh Lohan. Clodagh has support outside, but it just doesn't go to hand, but comes back to Clodagh again. She gets a second chance at 3 or 4 Wexford players converging around her, but she's still doing strong. Still Lohan, looking for some support. She gets support from Shannon. Shannon on the left, scores low. It's a sneaky little one, but it's well read there by Moore in the Wexford goals. Jan Moore spotted that the whole way, and it wasn't going to let her trick her on this occasion. And no score comes from that one. But this one is bounced around the halfway line. Fumi Palaba gets onto that. Does she get it the first time? No, she doesn't. Or even the second time. And Wexford have turned her over. It looks like over there through Murray. Murray feeds that one back. And now Wexford playing that in dangerously inside. As far as Harding, Kenny Harding has a goal already. She plays it into Banville. Banville, the goal at her mercy. She goes high on this occasion. But she goes accurate and knocks it over the bar. She takes the point. The goal was maybe on. But here, the home side here in Chadwick's Wexford Park. Ruth Jones now with the kick out. Again, she's looking for Shanahan. Shanahan leaves it off this time. I think she heard a call from one of her colleagues behind her. But the Wexford players who pick it up there, to pick it up through Cullen. Cullen plays that then inside as far as Keogh. Keogh on the edge of the D, slightly outside the D, even good kick pass outside into a bit of space. Now there's a chance. He's popping inside. That one is coming in for Murphy. Oh, well saved. She won't be caught again. Ruth Jones was caught with a similar effort earlier in this half, but she's learned from that. She got up well there and defended it. And now she has the ball. Maybe she's slightly isolated now. Murphy's coming in tackling her. She needs a bit of support. Jones did well there. He was brave. A lot of fans in their hearts in their mouth when you see the goalie coming out like that. Luckily, on this occasion, from her point of view, Murphy fouled her, and there is going to be a free for Jones now out there. Where's she going with this one? She kicked it, unfortunately, from her point of view, she kicked that right over the sideline. That really hasn't worked out from a Longford point of view. Looking at the scoreboard, 2-3 to a goal. 21 minutes gone in this first half. Wexford go back with this one, back as far as Karen Tompkins. She's currently a Wexford minor. Her sister there is playing centre forward, Emma. Good work inside Wexford, working it all the way through the line into Keogh. Keogh has it on the D. Goes with it. Good, lovely pass inside Banville. Banville had to go and catch the ball. Wexford on that. It's not coming in. Oh, it just seems to maybe come off Sarah Harding Kenny's maybe baby toe or something. It seems to swerve off to the left and maybe the goal again more at her mercy. On this occasion, it goes to the left and wide. The score remains 2-3 to a goal in favour of Wexford. But when Wexford come, seem to come in numbers and left and right runners coming everywhere. Very hard to defend against. It's not easy for Ruth Jones in that Longford goal, and it's Wexford on the attack again, working as far as Amy Walsh. Hasn't scored yet in this half, but has done everything else in fairness. She's been involved in everything good Wexford have done. That one is working inside again. There's runners inside. Murray was looking for that. Murray doesn't get it. Ashley Murphy decides to have a go herself, and why wouldn't she? When she's able to get scores like that. Ashley Murphy, that's 1-1 today for her. Wexford have been very impressive once they've got that ball up there. Just settle themselves down and take the score there, and that was really well converted by Ashling Murphy. Shanahan now goes over to pick up that one. Again, she's trying to orchestrate things. There isn't a huge amount going on in front of her. There isn't a huge amount of players that aren't being really well marked. That one, Murphy was brave. Got a fist in there. Now it's into Murray. Murray plays soccer style on the ground. Is she going to go for the point? Yes, she is. Right, the line to keep it again. And it's getting to the back of the net. And Murray has got 1-2 in this game already. It was only 22 minutes gone. Really, the ball ingenuity out of her. She thought the goalie was off her line. Just decided to take it side over and into the back of the net. 3-4 to a goal now in favour of Wexford. Murray with the latest goal there, but she really just showed calmness, coolness, everything you'd want in your corner forward. She ran through there and just knocked that one to the net. You'd imagine that Lizzie Kent is delighted with the way her players are playing. They're being ruthless. When the goal is on, they're taking it. There's 3 of them already today. Again, Longford, they need to keep their heads up. They need to get a score. They need to get another goal. They would really, really like to get it before half time to give them something to fight for in the second half. That one's played down the line again. Longford might have a chance to build something from here. Out comes Shanahan. Kate Shanahan gets it on. She's going past her player. She's trying to, but again, Katie English has been brilliant every time she's been involved today. Just doesn't let Anne pass her. She does really well again there. And now Wexford build from that position as they come forward. That would have 10 or 15 feet forward in as far as Banville. Banville has a point already there. She's been stood up. She's forced backwards, but she's holding on to the ball. She goes back. She's looking for the return. She gets the return. They might have lost 10 or 20 yards, but they've held on to the ball, which is the most important thing. That one is a very speculative pass, went across the field there, but Karen Tompkins read it. She managed to avert any danger that might have accrued there. Wexford come again. Good running off the shoulder. Lovely bit of play. Sarah Donnelly gets onto that one. Back as far as Ciara Banville. Ciara goes to ground with the referee says play on. Shanahan again has it for Longford. He tries to steady things by giving it to Tompkins. Tompkins, lovely ball straight down the middle. But Longford are going to make hay with that one, and you would imagine as Kate Shanahan comes onto this, she has support outside there from Donnelly. Donnelly plays that inside. She's looking inside for Kate Shanahan again. I think it was her. In fact, it was a Clodagh Lohan she was trying to get into. Now Clodagh has it. Here goes Clodagh. She has it on the ground. Oh, just couldn't go down on it quickly enough. And I suppose gracefully enough. And Alden, she still has it. Here goes Lohan. Lohan with the right. And Lohan gets the score. She couldn't get the ball up the first time. She got it the second time and she converts her score. Clodagh Lohan, Cueva's sister, of course, 2 points the last day out against Sligo. She has 1 today. And it just keeps Longford in this game to some extent. It's still 3-4 to 1-1. And now it's dropped to him again. Oh, really good defending there from a Wexford point of view. But Longford don't want the ball coming out here at all. They want to keep it in there. And they've managed to work it in as far as Keogh now. She gives it on to Shanahan. Now Shanahan is coming again. Can they get another score before half time? They've worked it in as far as Keown. Caitlin has it now. She goes back outside, 2 or 3 players. First of all, she wants it back out to Grace Shanahan. She takes the solo, plays it inside. Again, it's a speculative enough one. It's dropping in around the house. Who's going to get onto it? She was aiming there for Kate Shannon. Kate doesn't manage to get into it. She's trying to play it into her. But Wexford again stood tall and they've managed to not concede any score on this occasion. Still 3-4 to 1-1 in favour of them. If they come out of their own defence, that one up as far as Murray. Murray's been all over the field. She's 15 on her back, but she's been back in that half-back position just as much as she's been in the corner forward position. But when she has been up there, she has scored 1-2. So she'll be happy with how that first half has gone for her. Good ball over the top, good vision, and well spotted. Now Wexford have another chance again. There's 3 players running right across that 45 line. Now there's space inside again for another Wexford score. The ball just doesn't stay there nicely for Vanville. Vanville goes in her second attempt. It's off the cross. They're still there. Can it be converted in net? Yes, it can. Sarah Harding-Kenny has got her second down today. She was really alert. She was just watching and no other player seemed to react as quickly as she did. And Sarah Harding-Kenny got in the bottom of that, back of that, and finished it. She won't get an easier goal in her career ever. That's 2 for her today. 4-4 to 1-1 now. 26.5 minutes gone. It's going to be a long way back for Longford now, but they won't give up. They're going to keep trying. They're going to try and keep working things out for their own defence. They've worked it out as far as Talaba now. Talaba is fouled. He decides to leave it. Who's going to take it now? They're all trying to decide who's going to take it. Eventually, across comes Cueva McCormick. She's going to take it. Cueva's sister, of course, of Shauna there, who's playing a cornerback. Cueva's looking around. She goes back up 5 or 6 yards. Just hard when you look up the field. You've got the ball in your hand like that, and there is no option for her. Wexford just closing down every avenue. Working back as far as Kelleher. Now Kelleher is tackled there, and Wexford have another chance as they come forward here. Look at the space inside. They have plenty of space to exploit if they want. As far as Vanville 1-on-1, Vanville goes, and Vanville finds in there. 1-1 for her, and Wexford are absolutely flying at the moment. The speed of their attack, to go from defending, to go from having Longford coming at them around the halfway line, just turn it over, knock it in as far as Vanville, who's been really good in the last 10 minutes particularly. She's had a couple of chances, and now she's got her goal. 5-4 now to 1-1 as Longford pick it up again. They just want to get it beyond the halfway line at this point. They need to try and knock it into their forward, because when they have got the ball down, they have done a bit of damage. It's just not been able to get past this Wexford. It's not even a defence, it's an all over place. It's just been a really good performance for Wexford, not making it easy for Longford in any way, just cutting down space every time they get the ball, and we see it now. Longford trying to just keep possession and work it, and they have worked up as far as Shannon now. She's into the attacking zone. She's into that Wexford half. As she plays that in again, we see 2 players converge in around one Longford player, but it looks like Lohan might have it now. So to Lohan. She was a hand on the back there. She's looking to take this one quickly. They want to get a score. What have we? Less than 2 minutes left of this first half. They need at least a point from this, but realistically, they need a goal. In this game, though, from a Longford point of view, what are they going to go for here now? Just outside the 21. You imagine they're just going to try and kick this one over the bar and give them something to build on, I suppose, for the second half. Realistically, a goal is what they need at this point, but that one is gone. It's well put in there. It was a dodgy one. It was dropping in around the house. But back there was Leanne Moore, and she stopped that one going into the back of the net. So Longford are still 1-1. Wexford are 5-4 with about 1 minute left of this first half. Good working from Wexford there again, going through the hand. Really well coached. Lizzie Kent has them in absolutely top condition. As that one is played inside to Trina Murray. Murray is on to that now. Plenty of space over that far side of the field. John McCormick is trying to keep tabs on her. Not an easy job. There is support coming there. It looks like Keith Tompkins is into that now. Again, 2 players converge around her, but that means Murray is free and they go back to Murray. And Murray has no problem playing that back the field, back as far as Sarah Donnelly. Sarah plays one, maybe not. It doesn't give her player much of a chance, but then another Wexford player comes in to help her out. That player is Kyo. Like Kyo has it now. 2 players, goes past the 2 of them, loses the ball, but has a chance to get the second time. The third time she gets it. She still has the ball, goes back into the field, back out as far as Aoife Cullen now. Aoife has it. She's looking at the post. Oh, she fooled me. She fooled her defender. I think she fooled Shanahan there because she thought she was going for the shot, but she doesn't. And Wexford hold on to this, recycling, come back across the field. And they know they're well ahead. They know they can wait. They know they can play this across the field and wait for an opening. And an opening will come. It has come a few times already. The referee has said right on the stroke of the 30 minutes. He didn't play a second, in fairness, of extra time, but there was really no big stoppages, in fairness. So he played the correct amount of time with Kieran Gould there. not a first half the Longford team and backroom management and anyone supporting Longford will want to dwell on too much. Wexford have been hugely impressive with their 5 goals. Goals, just give a quick recap on them. Sarah Harding Kenny has 2. Trina Murray has 1 of them. Ashley Murphy has a goal. And Kira Banville then got the 5th there. Their points coming from Murray got 2, 1 from free, 1 from play. Ashley Murphy had a point and Kira Banville had a point. From the Longford point of view, their goal came from Ella O'Reilly, who sent in a big high looping ball. It looped in over Leanne Moore's head into the back of the net. She has their goal and Soda Lohan has their point. That's all the scores kind of wrapped up. So the halftime score here in Chadwick's Wexford Park is Wexford 5-4, Longford 1-1. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with full coverage of the second half very soon. Welcome back here to Wexford Chadwick Park here. It's currently, if you're just joining us, a fairly resounding result so far, I suppose, in that first half from a Wexford point of view. 5-4 to 1-1 they lead. Very impressive first half. Longford have a lot to do to come out in this second half. They are still inside in the dressing room. You imagine the management team led by Alan Mullen is giving them a right going over and just telling them to come out and we need to try and win the second half. Incidentally, in the other game in this division, which Wexford people and players will definitely be looking at, is Kildare against Sligo. Kildare currently top of the table. They're ahead of Wexford on scoring difference and they're well ahead in Sligo as well. They're 3-9 to 2 points up, so they'll stay on top if all the results stay here. Of course, Wexford and Kildare play next weekend, which there's a very good chance that will just be a dress rehearsal for the league final, which takes place on the 16th of April. Chances are it will be Wexford and Kildare if things stay as they are playing in that final as well. Longford are back out onto the field. They know they need to get back into this one. They need to get back into it as quickly as possible. Scoring difference will be important. They're down there towards the end of this division. They play Clare next weekend at home. So they at least want to get something out of this game to give them, I suppose, a bit of confidence, a bit of impetus going into that one. Now, if you're new to ladies football and you're new to watching the league in the last couple of years, there is unlimited substitutions allowed in this competition. So we would expect to see lots and lots of changes. We'll do our best to try and bring them to you as best we can, but there probably will be coming at us thick and fast. Just having a quick look out there, see is there any changes so far in the second half. We don't see anything too obvious, and it's now Longford to come on to attack. They want to get into this game immediately. It's Grace Shannon now on the ball. Grace is dispossessed as she was in full flight there, running through. And is this game going to go the way it did in the first half, or can Longford get into it? It's Wexford to come on the attack here again through Tompkins. Tompkins plays that in as far as her sister Karen Tompkins. Now, Karen has it, but she's lost. It's just slippy ball there going to ground, but she managed to pick it up on the second attempt. Give it back to Ashton Murphy. Ashton got 1-1 in that first half. Lovely kick pass to Donnelly. Donnelly goes out to the other wing, sprayed that out beautifully. Now there's another chance for Wexford score early in this second half. Has it been kicked over? It looks like it has. Has it? No. It came off the woodwork and dropped down, and no score is registered there. And it gives Ruth Jones a chance to get her first touch of the ball in the second half, but she's overcooked that one and goes out over the line. Still 5-4 to 1-1 in favour of Wexford as Karen Tompkins picks this one up. He seemed to pick the ground there for it. He made a connection with the ball. What has the referee decided? He decided it's going to be a free to Longford. That one is something we don't see every day, and I'd say Karen Tompkins might be feeling her toe after that one. I think she made more of a connection with the ground than the ball, but it's going to be a free now. Shannon has it for Longford again, looking for options, doesn't see any that she likes. And again, it's told you to make runs. She kicked that one more in hope, I think, than anything else, but it doesn't work out for her at all. And Wexford have turned this one back over again. Back to Donnelly. Donnelly goes back outside, giving it to Cullen now. Eva Cullen looking for the 1-2. She doesn't get it. Cullen holds, or Donnelly holds onto it for another minute as she gives it back inside as far as Karen Tompkins. Good ball over the top there. And Wexford have worked into a bit of space over as far as Keogh now. Keogh feeds it inside to Roisin Murphy. Roisin Murphy has options. She feeds it inside. Again, she's looking for a return. But Emma Tompkins hold on to this. Knocked inside. Back inside is Cullen. Cullen, oh, just seemed to take her eye off the ball there at the last minute. She was thinking about where she was going to plant that ball when she did catch it. But on this occasion, the ball goes to ground and nothing comes of it. And Longford have it again. And they work the triangles. They work this out. A little bit of hot ball going on inside there. And again, it's worked out to Wexford advantage. As many times in this game, Amy Walsh had a couple of chances in the first half. Decides to give that one out as far as Tompkins. Tompkins drops that one short into the hands of Ruth Jones, who gleefully picks that one up and comes out the field. The last time she kicked it and overcooked it, this time she decides to run it out and give a hand pass on to Shanahan. Shanahan puts a high looping ball up. But again, there's too many Wexford players there. There's two of them there to one Longford player. And Wexford come at them again through Banville. 1-1 from that first half. Gives it back to Katrina Murray. 1-2 from that first half. She plays it across the field to Roisin Murphy. Now Roisin gives it on. Roisin keeps going. As outsider there comes over to Keogh. Keogh still has it right through the heart of that defence. Keogh releases the shot, but Keogh has that foot to the right and wide. And her inside forward will be telling her, go back, Orla, will you? We're the forward. We'll do the finish and you stay where you are. Good strong runner out of her all the same. Score has not changed from the start of this second half. Still 5-4 to 1-1 in favour of Wexford. The runners up in the All Ireland Intermediate Championship last year. Nice hand gun in there by Ashleen Murphy just to take it away from Longford. And they've worked it back inside as far as Murray again. Murray comes back outside. Just took too many steps, says the referee, and Longford will breathe a sigh of relief there and just give them a chance to build something from here back as far as Shannon. Shannon took her eye off the ball there. The ball just went away from her through her legs. And she does need I suppose, in fairness, everyone in the Longford players just needs something to get them going again here. If they could just get an early goal here, make a huge difference to them and just drive them on for the next half. This game might be going away from, but they still have a lot to play for. There's a long championship, a long year to go yet for Longford, and every game and every bit of experience they can get will stand to them. Now they have the ball again. Worked it back 1-2 across the field. In as far as McCormick now. McCormick is looking lively. She's trying to drag her team back into this. In as far as McCormick now. McCormick gives it to Lohan. Lohan puts that one inside. The ball inside. But the Wexford defence has been impervious all game so far. There's nothing going through them whatsoever. Good working out there through Roisin Hughes. Roisin has it now. She's been well marshalled over there by Glennon. The referee has decided to do too many steps. So great defending there by Hannah Glennon. Forced her into that mistake. Now Longford have it. They've worked it in as far as Caitlin McKeown. Caitlin. She had a runner there. Lynn just didn't manage. She does get on the second attempt. Plays that one low across to Shannon, who's been up and down this field all day in fairness. Her great engine there on Grace Shannon of Longford Slashers as she plays that into Fumi Talaba. Talaba has it now, tries to cut back inside. There's not just any inroads to be made there, so she's forced to come back to Shannon now. And Shannon is trying to orchestrate everyone this play ball, really in that quarterback role. And even since she's kicked away the ball there, she's telling her players we need to spread out, we need to make room for ourselves. Not happening just yet for them, but Longford still have the ball, which is encouraging from their point of view. And just like I say that, the ball goes to ground, but there was a foul there, an illegal tackle came in, and there is going to be a free in. Just maybe, 35 yards out, maybe slightly outside Grace Shannon's zone, but she'll have a fair goal, you'd imagine. She makes her way across to take this one. Just hit 35 minutes on the clock, so 5 minutes into this second half. Here goes Grace on her right boot, just inside the D. She goes fairly sore with that one. It's dropped. There's still a chance. Can this be converted? Over. Kate Shannon had a shot from a fairly acute angle. It wasn't an easy one, but it goes wide in the end, and no score coming from that from a Longford point of view. It is an encouraging start for Longford. You can hear their management shouting on encouragement, trying to tell them keep going. That is a lot more encouraging than what they were doing maybe towards the end of that first half to get us work the ball down into there. A couple of better angles. They will get the rewards. But Wexford won't be letting that happen too often if they can do anything about it. They've worked it up as far as Murray now. Murray plays it on again. There's again runners left and right as Donnelly comes on to this one. She fists that one forward. And out comes Ashling Murphy. She's been dangerous every time she gets the ball. Dangerous all day. Feeds that outside to Banville. Banville again bearing down and goal. Looking for a second of the day. And she gets it. Tira Banville from midfield. Just kept charging forward. Pick that one up off the shoulder and finish it to the net. 2-1 now from her. Again, it was a real team move. Loads of players involved in that one. Came to Tira Banville in the end. And she struck that home. She had no doubt where she was putting that. There wasn't even a question to go for a point on this occasion. Again, it's turned over by Murray. Murphy with real visions there to pick out players. And just as she did that, just as he kicked the ball to Ashley Murphy, she was telling Murphy where to give it on to. She was telling her to give it back to Donnelly. Donnelly was in space on the 45. Now Donnelly has it. And again, there's space in around that D area. Donnelly was looking for a return. But Emma Tompkins wants to get her own score. She's been well marshalled in the inside there by McCormick, though. She's forced out. The shot is eventually coming in from Amy Walsh. Amy had two chances in that first half. Neither of them went her way, but this one does. That's a good strike from Amy Walsh. And we have Longford making their first sub of the day. It looks like number 21 is coming on for them there. 21 is Grace Kenny there of Longford Slashers. She has come onto the field for the last 25 odd minutes of this game, and it looks like Wexford have made a change as well there. Number 19 has also come onto the field, so we're expecting lots of changes here. Kaelon Newlawn has made her way onto the field. Her manager, or her father, John Nolan, involved with the management team as Wexford get onto that again through Aoife Cullen. Aoife plays that one back outside as Banville. Just got her second goal there a moment ago as she's worked that inside again. Again, Wexford have it in there through Walsh. Walsh goes back outside as far as Banville. Banville plays that onto Newlawn, who we mentioned just came onto the field a couple of seconds ago in the green boots. She'll be well spotted as she plays that out as far as Murray now. Murray has a good pass to player. Still Murray. Is she going to go with the right boot again? Yes. The angle isn't easy. It's off the post. And it's really good effort though. Trina Murray, she'd remind you of Valerie Mutahi in her headaway. She just cuts in and she has that soccer style about her. A real lovely strike to the ball when she released it. That time it hit the post and went wide. And still 6-5 to 1-1 in favour of Wexford. Again, this one is heading towards Murray, but she doesn't get it. O'Reilly was brave there from a Longford point of view, put her body in the way. The referee says a foul there, that foul on Grace Shannon, and Grace is going to take this one. Grace looks slightly annoyed by things going on at the moment. She's been told to go back a few steps. And she's looking up for, she's trying to decide who will I give this to. tries to go back to field, and she will look for the return ball, and she gets it. Grace takes a couple of solos. Again, she's always playing heads up football, always trying to create something. On this occasion, she struck that one, and she wasn't happy about it. Seemed to hold her leg a small bit. She injured herself slightly after she kicked that. Either way, we'll stick with the play as Murphy gets it again. Murphy doesn't drop the ball. It's like a bar of soap out there. As we mentioned, the rain was going there till the match started. It seems to have stopped since then. But the ball is still greasy. The ground is greasy. It's not easy to get your hands on it at all times. And as I say that over there, then just keeps the ball off the top surface. They hold on to it again. Do Longford as they work inside. A dangerous one inside. Is there enough Longford players there to cover everything? Yes, there is. They have the ball back, and that one is kicked out as far as O'Reilly. O'Reilly got the goal for Longford in the first half. She's on it. She doesn't manage to get to this though. And it's turned over again by Banville, who's having an absolutely outstanding game in there. And look at this. It's 1-on-1. It's Wexford inside. They've got two players now, in fact. And that one is easily finished to the net again. She's only onto the field in the last 4 or 5 minutes. But Newland has found the net, and she's got the 7th goal for Wexford today. Really not easy for the Longford defence. They're just under pressure constantly as Wexford work the ball in. Newland was just left in there all on her own. She even had a bit of support, had players running off for all the help she needed. But it was very easy for her in the end to just kick that one to an almost empty net. 7-5 now to 1-1, coming up on the 40th minute. As Ruth Jones goes to kick this one out, comes to the near side of the field. It's great to Ashton Murphy of Wexford though. And here comes Ashton again bearing down and goals. The solo really doesn't go her way, but she manages to throw it in the second attempt. She goes with a shot, but it's not as strong as she would have liked, and into the hands of Ruth Jones. Ruth Jones, who was calm back there, managed to get that and feeding up as far as Lowen now. Lowen feeds that one on again as far as O'Reilly. O'Reilly has come back to field to help Shannon now. Grace Shannon got that one, and she feeds it on again as far as Squeeve Lowen. Lowen now has it inside. Just we're looking inside, and there is no free Longford player inside. So you can understand why the Longford girls are forced to maybe go across the field, go laterally, because there isn't space inside. Now it's back as far as Talaba. She has it again. She's still holding on to the buckets. Again, there isn't any player in front of her that is really free. So again, they're forced out a bit lateral, and Longford come again, this time through Lennon. Lennon puts that one forward. She keeps going herself. Inside, we see Lynn is screaming for it inside. Is Lynn eventually going to get it? Yes, she is, but the advantage is kind of lost as she's come all the way across to get that one. Back as far as Shannon again. Shannon is looking up. O'Reilly was calling for it. This time she decides to ignore it really and give it out as far as Squeeve Lohan. Lohan has it now. Lohan is looking up. Longford are looking good here. They've made a bit of progress. They've been patient and they've made about 20 or 30 yards. They have the ball now through Shanahan again. Shannon is looking around again. They're forced back slightly. Back as far as Fumi Talaba again. She's looking around now. Where is she going to go? She goes back. She has support outside. Good strong running there off the shoulder. Again, good, brilliant running there by Riley, it looks like. The front full back all the way going forward. Going to forward, how it's done. Here goes Riley. She throws a boot at that one. Oh, it's there. It still might be a chance of the score. It's dropped inside. Trying to get onto that. But again, we're very alert on that one. There might have been a chance of a goal there for Longford. But Wexford defence was just too alert on this occasion. Nice to see that one away, but really the game could have done with Longford getting a goal there. I think any neutral here watching, any neutral here in Chadwick's Wexford Park would have hoped that one would find a net. It doesn't on this occasion, and the score remains 7-5 to 1-1. We do have a free for Longford. It's too quickly taken from the referee's point of view, and another sub coming on there for Longford, number 20. Number 20 is Ella Duggan, has come onto the field there for Longford. I think that is why the referee wouldn't allow that free to be taken quickly. So Ella is onto the field. And now we're going to restart with that free to Longford. Go inside as far as Riley. Riley doesn't get her eyes, or maybe slightly just taken off the ball by the Wexford player coming in to challenge her. That was enough to make her lose the ball. Ashling Murphy now all the way back inside her own half. Ashling has maybe got a bit of a push there, but that only drives her forward. But Ashling kicks out again. Again, it's one-on-one inside. But this time the Longford player is out. The Longford player is Emma Doris. Emma Doris did well there, was out in front and just gathered that ball and clears it out the field. As far as Grace Kenny. Kenny gives that and goes. She gets the ball back, or does she? Yes, she does eventually. Two or three players maybe taking a bit of a touch on that one. But Longford is going again. A bit more encouraging here. The last 2 or 3 minutes. They have it again. Knock inside. There's no one. Work out for Ethan Cullen. Wexford was back there defending really well. The ball can't be converted. Wexford holding on to it again. Just have a chance to play the ball through the line, can't pass it out, can't pass it all the way out of danger. And they have it now, they have runners again. One of those runners is Sarah Donnelly. Donnelly has it now. She kicks the ball inside. in as far as Newlawn. She has it now. Newlawn goes past her player. She's going to keep going. She has a goal already today. Not on the field a huge amount of time, but must be full of confidence after that last goal. Back as far as Donnelly again. Donnelly has as much time to think about this as she wants. She plays a good ball, a good accurate kick pass across the field, and Wexford come again through Tompkins, now on the 45. He goes back again. Longford have got most of their players back. They've only got three players in the attacking half of the field, two now. And they just start to retreat and try to stop another onslaught. But here it comes again, Vanville. Vanville got the last goal, or the second last goal. At this stage, we're losing track. As Wexford come again, shot is firm and goes wide at the end. And Longford will be delighted to see that goal wide. And Wexford are about to make another change there. Number 27, it looks like it's coming onto the field. That is Chloe Fox. Chloe Fox come onto the field. As there's a huge round of applause for the Wexford player going off the field. That Wexford player is Sarah Harding Kenny. Harding Kenny delighted with her performance today with her two goals, and she comes off the field, gets a well-earned rest for the last 15 minutes of this game. She'll watch on from the side, and as Longford come on the attack, that one's kicked overhead. It's kicked up towards Ella Duggan, but it was just too firmly struck. Ella didn't have much of a chance of getting onto that one, and now Wexford have a chance to clear their lines back inside with this line ball. 15 minutes so to go here in Chadwick Wexford Park. 7-5 to 1-1 in favour of Wexford. They really fancy their chances after a result like this. If you can imagine it would stay like this anyway, but if Wexford going into their last game against Kildare, knowing that the result really isn't that important when they play Kildare, both of them will be able to see how they'll line out. Longford, on the other hand, will know their next game against Clare really is do or die. That one is kicked inside again. That one is dropping. Wexford again have runners left and right. Where are they going to go with this one? That goes across again to Newlawn. She has it again on the right boot. Again, looking really confident. She stuck that, and she gets another score. She's only touched the ball 4 or 5 times in this game, but she has 1-1. Great play from her. Great play from Wexford in general. With a few players down now, getting a bit of treatment. 2 for Wexford, in fact. And it looks like O'Reilly is getting a chat to Longford. O'Reilly is the referee just having a chat with her. No carriage rat coming there for Ella O'Reilly. And she's going to go out there. Kieran Gould's going to go out to have just a little check up on the Wexford player who's on her knees, but she looks to be okay whether she'll play on for the last 15 minutes. The referee decides, yeah, we can play on. Either get her fixed or get her off. He seems to be saying, we're not waiting around here for anything. That one is kicked out. That one, oh, it just doesn't go the way the Longford player this occasion. Maybe too much on it. We've alone did her best to get on the end of that, but just, again, just skims off the wet grass and out of play. Wexford will have a line ball. Coming short for that one is Halligan. Halligan has support there for Donnelly of Shelmaliers. If she wants it, she goes to Donnelly. Donnelly now comes back out as far as Cullen. Aoife Cullen. Again, is she going to go back to Donnelly? No, she's going to hold on to her. Doesn't they say that? She goes out pushing the back there. Very obvious to the referee and everyone else here. That was going to be a free in. Cara Donnelly does a push in the back, and now it's a free for Wexford. Again, just kind of takes the bite out of it from a longer point of view. They were coming into it there maybe 5 or 6 minutes ago. They were on top for the 5 minutes before that, and it was looking something they could maybe build on for the next day. Since then, Wexford have come back into it again. The likes of Newlawn inside there in the full forward line has really brought this back in favour of Wexford again. Back as far as Halligan now. Halligan taking a kick across the field where there's plenty of space on the far side of the field. Kicked inside. Now into Newlawn again. She's been a torn aside since this came on. She played that down into the corner. Is there someone in there? Yes, there is. Ashley Murphy. Ashley Murphy goes past her player. Here goes Ashley back to Newlawn. Newlawn with a strike. And has she got 2-1 for to do it? Yes, she has. One inspiration, the substitute since she came on. 2-1 inside about 5 or 6 minutes for Newlawn. 1-2, I should say. The dyslexia getting the better of me there. 1-2. He's got a goal and 2 points since he's come onto the field. I wanted the contributions he's made, as it looks like Longford is about to make another sub there. It looks like Kenny Alaba has come onto the field as well there for Longford, number 19. So Kenny Alaba is on for the last 12 minutes or so as Ruth Jones kicks that one. They go short with that one, trying to hold on to that one. It's like Beaver Owen is back there trying to work something from this Shanahan now. Grace Shanahan again being tackled fairly ferociously. Not letting her turn, not letting her get into her game now. Alaba, who we just talked about a minute, comes onto the field. She's involved in this move as Longford try to work it through the hands up to Kelleher now. Kelleher gets the 1-2. Still going. Strong running from their own full backside, but it's hard to get beyond the 45, 65 zone that they're in at the moment. Down goes across the field, it's bouncing. Bit of a flash there. We heard a few groans from the crowd. So we're going to pause here for another few minutes as the referee goes over and just has a word to make sure both players involved in that are okay. The Longford player is up on her feet straight away. Wexford player is still down. We're going to pause momentarily while they receive the treatment. Division 3 League final, of course, scheduled for the 16th of April, as we mentioned. Chances are Kildare and Wexford are looking pretty strong for that one. The winner of that then goes up and will play in Division 2 next year. So a lot to play for in that final. They changed that rule a few years ago, of course, in ladies football. It was both teams who made that final would go up. Now it's just the one up, one down rule. Both these teams, of course, will compete in the intermediate All-Ireland Championship then come May. And there they will meet again in that competition. Wexford last year made it all the way to the final, losing out for the second year in a row. They'll be hoping to be third time lucky this time. Westmeath in 2021 and then lost to Leith last year, 111 to 113 that day in Croke Park. They'll want to, I suppose, make amends for get back there again this year. It's a long way away yet as we're back here in Wexford Park, and Longford are going to take their free through Grace Shannon, I should say. Shannon goes back, gets it back again. Now Shannon is looking around. Again, nothing super obvious for her to go with, so she just goes relatively short and gets it back again. Where's she going to go? She goes back. There's not much on behind her either, but she decides to go back a little bit anyway. Wexford just pushing her back. Really good defending from Wexford. Longford must have lost 10 or 15 yards there, and eventually Grace is just forced to kick that away. But well spotted. A good run up the line there from Talaba, but Talaba is turned over there by Murray. Now Murray has it. She kicks it inside. Now into again. Brilliant defending there from Tanny. She only came on a few minutes ago. Alaba put in a hand there and turned that one over because there wasn't anyone left at home. If Newland had got that again, he was going to add another score. But Wexford have worked it back again. Good strong running there from Roisin Murphy. Roisin gives it on to Ferris Ashling. Ashling Murphy now over the 65. She still has it. Puts that one over the top to Newland again. Newland plays that one inside as far as Cullen. Cullen plays that in. It's just going to be too much on that. It was a real 50-50. Out comes Root. Jones just didn't control that the first time. There was a little bit of danger, but luckily for her, then back there and managed to just shore things up. Ruth Jones is still back outside of her goals. Now she gets the ball back. She was alert and came out, and both between her and the defender, no score came, which is the main thing. We're into the last 8.5 minutes or so in this game. As Shannon gets it again, Shannon just tirelessly working up and down that field for Longford. Now she's shouting at the players, telling me you need to make runs for me. She's doing everything she can to try and drag her team into this game. But the Wexford defence has just been so good. Just ever present. They can't seem to get a break. Fairness to Longford, to their credit, they haven't given up. They're still working it through the lines. This one is up to the 45 now. Good ball inside there by Kelleher. And Longford get work a score from this. Knocked inside as far as Kenny. Kenny puts in the hands. She's held on to it. She's gone to the ground. He says, play it up. Now he's given it free. Now there's a chance for Longford on the 21. A chance for them to get only their third score of the day. They do really need a score, and it looks like maybe a double substitution for Wexford now is going to happen at the next break of play. And a double one for Longford as well. So we'll try and do all that information as soon as we can, as soon as the break in play there. Adele Sheehy even has come on there for Longford, as has Casey McNamara. And that one has gone over the bar. Longford, yeah, not much of a crowd here from Longford, but that one has gone over the bar. There's a few fairly silent rounds of applause, but they've got another score. They're up to 1-2 for the day. That one kicked over there by Kate Shannon. They know they need an awful lot more. Even they get a couple of goals, maybe take that severe look off the scoreboard. Wexford again working that down, winning their free, going back outside the field, going back out as far as Donnelly now. Donnelly has it, plays it inside, in as far as Tompkins. Tompkins plays that one over the top. Again, looking for Ninu on. She doesn't get it on this occasion, but it comes out as far as Tompkins. Tompkins on her knees, goes to the ground. She's back up really quickly though, but she's still being converged in around by a load of Longford players. Again, really good work there from Fumi to Balaba. Came in around and just managed to rip the ball away. Now she has it back again after Shannon played it on to her. And Longford done well back there. Since conceding that last goal, they've been good, they've been strong. They seem to have moved Talava back there to try and steady things a small bit. Now, unfortunately, the damage has been done. They have conceded 7 goals at this point, but they do seem to be slightly stronger with that. And maybe that's something they can build on for the next day. That one is cut out there from Murphy, played inside to Newland. It's 2-on-1. It might even be 3-on-1 for a Wexford point of view as they come forward here. That one is left inside. Oh, the hand pass is just a little slow in coming. They're trying to play it inside, but it was just a little bit slow. The ball inside, the obvious ball was to play it into Keeler Roman, who just come in, but the pass was half blocked. It didn't manage to work out, but Wexford are still there. There's still the chance to score. Into Newland again. Can she kick it on the ground, soccer style? Longford throwing her body behind that. What is the referee? He says it's a push in the back, and it's going to be a free out. Faruto goes short with that one again, up as far. Kenny Alaba, she has the ball again. She's been fairly impressive since she's come on as well. That pass wasn't a good one, though. Goes slightly wayward. It's gone to ground again. Wexford look like they have enough number standing over that one. It's still there. Managed to take a quick little hand pass there as far as Banville now. Banville has a run on her shoulder. Little 1-2. Brilliant play there from Wexford. Really quick hands. You can see why this team is the second best team. It's not the best team in intermediate this year. Why they're second in this division. And they will really put her up Kildare in the next game. Really fast hands. They're great play. And they've worked it back again. Longford just can't catch a break in today's game. Big shoulder. The referee says play on there. There was definitely contact. But the referee says no, we're playing on. And Longford have managed to turn the ball back in their favour. Working it out there. Not easy though to get beyond their own 45. The Wexford players are standing in their way with Emma Tompkins on that occasion threw her body into the line. But Longford still have it now. What have we left inside the last 4 minutes? As that one is played up the line. It wasn't a brilliant ball. It was given Adele Sheedy an awful lot to do. And she didn't manage to get there on this occasion. And Wexford have the ball. And we're going to go back all the way back as far as Leanne Moore in the Wexford goal. Back inside her own 14. Looking up, she goes across the field over as far as Roisin Murphy. Roisin has time to even drop that once or twice before she gets it again. A lot of tired players out there. She picks up the ball. She goes back as far as Donnelly. Donnelly gives and goes. She gets it back again across the field. Again, loads of space over there. Wexford can just play down the clock. They can just wait and hope for an opening. Again, back across the field. Again, making ground, but maybe not at a huge rate, but it doesn't really matter. This is lovely turn, lovely pass over the shoulder, back inside as far as Roisin Murphy. She gives it on and gets it back again. Roisin started this whole move, plays that back again. Oh, but there's a free there. Longford players applaud themselves. They applaud their own efforts for standing resolute there and not letting that pass them. That was quickly taken, but really accurate ball up as far as Shannon now. Grace Shannon has it. She's been pushed out towards the sideline. And she's gone out towards the sideline. What's been decided? Was she pushed out? Did she run out? He ran out according to the officials here. It's going to be a line ball, and Wexford are going to take it quickly before the referee changes his mind, and that's played across the field from Tompkins. She plays it inside as far as Keogh now. Keogh has it. Inside into a bit of space. Into Newland again. Oh, Newland could have got onto that one. Thinks she slightly took her eye off the ball, as Emma Doris did really well from the Longford point of view. Just got, like I'd say, her baby finger onto that one and managed to knock it in the opposite direction. But now Wexford have a chance to go again. Robin, she has it. She's been stood up. She goes back out the field. Back to Newland again. She plays that one back inside and Wexford have a chance to maybe get a score from here. It's coming in from fairly far out, but it's dropping right into the hands of Ruth Jones again. That shot came in from all the way from downtown from Zoe Fox, but there's not enough power on it to trouble Jones in the Longford goal. So Longford again, not easy. Get out of here. Just holding on to the ball. They're looking up at that clock. There's about 2 minutes to go. I can't imagine match referee Kieran Gould will play on a huge amount of injury time. He'll play the 2 minutes, and that'll be it. And Longford will try to put this game to the back of their mind and move on to the next one. So it's going to be a line ball deep inside, even a free deep inside Longford defending zone inside their own 45. And back comes Grace Shannon again to take this one. She's looking way up the field to her sister, Katie, but she isn't in a position to pick up the ball. And we go back all the way back and just hold on to the ball for this last 90 seconds or so. Kelleher across the field. Bit of running there from Doris. Doris feeds that one on again, and there is a bit of movement now from Longford. Coming between the players just been brought onto the field not so long ago. Kenny gives that one across as far as Shannon now. Shannon with the left boot puts that inside again. Not an accurate one, really well read again from the Wexford defence. It's something you imagine other teams are going to be looking at how good this Wexford defence is, how hard they are to break down, and how are we going to break them down. As this is worked in again, look at the space inside as Wexford bear down and goals. There is options left and right, but really good defending again there by Talaba. Has she managed to win her side of free? Yes, she has. Because there could have been danger here or there. There was Wexford players, or were definitely outnumbered the Longford players. And it's going to be a triple substitution here for Wexford. Number 23 has come on. Number 23 is Niamh English. She's made her way onto the field. And we will bring you the other one in a second. As Leah Furlong has also come on, and so has Ava Manley. So Wexford have now more or less emptied their bench. And what have we got? We've got about 10 seconds of normal time left to play here in this round 6 Division 3 clash. There is a Longford player down over the far side of the field. But we're going to play on regardless. I think it's just a bit of cramp. That one is dropped, and a warm round of applause there for the Wexford players coming off the field. But Longford are holding on to the ball. We'll stick to the ball in play at the moment as that one comes back across. Ruth Jones picks this one up. We're over the 60 minutes now, so it's up to Kieran Gould how long he will play on in this game, the Offaly man. As that one is dropped inside Laba, but she's turned over, and now Wexford have a chance to maybe get the final score of the game. They've worked it in their foul, a foul coming in there, and a chance for Wexford to take a free on the edge of the D. You can imagine this will be the last bit of action in this game. And who's going to take it? It looks like it's going to be Nulon, who's really put down a marker for the next day to say, start me. Why aren't you starting me? To be having a chat with her dad on the way home, I'd imagine, say, give me a game. Look what I can do when I come on. She's already scored 1-2. Can she make it 1-3? She's put all the power she has behind that. It drops short. And Longford there, they're still awake. They're still alive because that one could easily slip in. But it doesn't go any further on this occasion. The score remains 7-7 to 1-2. You imagine the referee is going to blow this up any minute now as Wexford have worked it forward, have worked it inside. The substitution coming on to it now as they work it through the hands of their defensive. A little score here. Coming in well saved. Brilliant save there by Ruth Jones. Got her body behind that. She felt that. She's gone down on her knees after making that save. But she'll just be delighted and didn't hit the net again. She was really brave there and stood up to that. Now it's Longford coming out the field, driving forward. They'll want to try and get a score maybe before it's over. The referee will hopefully give them an advantage as they keep coming forward. Things will slow down slightly as they look up and don't see too many blue jerseys without a Wexford player standing beside him. That one is knocked over the top, still coming now. Still Longford on the mark. Maybe is going to stay in. It's just about stayed in. Just a lot of players around. And now Longford still making great ground as they drive forward. Can they finish with a score? Still going strong. Everyone here wants Longford to finish with a score. Can they actually do what they can? Everyone here besides the Wexford. And we're really seeing again the rushing news. Made sure there was no ball going over the man on that occasion. And it's still 7-7 to 1-2 as Wexford pick this up. And there's been turned over. Shannon now has it. Shannon has it. Plays it off to the sister Kate. Kate now has it. Goes one way, then the other. Now we're open up for her. If you're going to think about this shot, she thought about it. But unfortunately, from her point of view, there was enough Wexford defenders there to stop that happening. Now they have it back again. And all eyes are on Matt Referino to see how much longer he will play. We're up to 2.5 minutes overtime now being played. That one is still alone there. Players are still going hard for this. In fairness, there's nothing easy been fought for our nothing easy got out there at this stage. That one is walked over to the far side of the field. Leah Furlong picks it up. Leah plays that one down the lane. Huge amount of power on it, but enough to find a teammate. Good block there again. Annie Alaba did really well. She's been very good since she came in. In fact, that wasn't any, but it was just another good block from a Longford point of view. That one is played up to field. Now there's a bit of space. Can they finish with a flourish? Duggan. Ella Duggan now has it. She's got open ground in front of her. She can keep running into this. She's still going strong. Cuts inside. On the right boot. Plays it inside. Can they work out here? Looks like Shannon has it. She plays it back outside. Still trying to get an opening. That opening doesn't keep coming just in. Out as far as going now. Lohan now. She plays outside. There is a bit of room out here for Shannon. Can Shannon get this? So Kate Shannon with the shot. And Kate has done it. She's put the ball over the bar. Her second score of the day. And that's 1-3 in total for Longford. It's not something they'll be looking back on, I suppose, with a huge degree of fitness, but it is nice for them to finish with a score. You can imagine that will be the last play of the game. That is not what's after happening. The referee must have got some added time on it. We can't really account for it here. We're into the 3.5 minutes added on 7-7 to 1-3 as Wexford march down the field, driving forward here through number 27, who changed jersey. It's Zoe Fox is winning it, despite what your programme might have said. They have it back again. Zoe still has it. Back to Nealon. She plays that over the top. She was looking for a return. She doesn't get it. Back outside again. Is there a chance for Chloe? Chloe goes to ground and the referee says that's a foul. Even slightly soft. Chloe might have been behind that one slightly, but she got it. That is the most important thing. She'll feel she's going to take the free herself. She wants to get on the scoreboard. So here she goes. Can she open her account for today in the 64th minute? We've been playing it for the last 4.5 minutes, but surely this will be the last piece of action. She goes with the right. She looks confident that she struck that. Got a nice little curve. Got a nice arc on that one as she knocked it over the bar. Zoe Fox. She won the ball. She won the free, and then she scored the point. So we'll definitely be happy with that. 7-8 to 1-3 as that one is caught by Tompkins. Tompkins now still going forward up to the edge of the D. We see the referee looking at his watch. He says he's seen enough. 64 coming up on 65 minutes was enough for him in total. 7-8 is an impressive score in any game. 7-8 to Wexford. 1-3 to Longford. Just quickly recap on things from a Wexford point of view. Their goals came from everywhere realistically. We had Newland come on off the bench and got 1-2. Also 2 goals from Banville. 1 goal from Murphy, 2 from Sarah Harding Kenny, 1 from Katrina Murray, and well, it took in a couple of points there. Murray got 2 points, of course. Murphy also got a point as well as her goal. Amy Walsh got a point. Kira Banville got a point. Zoe Fox got that last one there from a free. From a Longford point of view, 1-3 is what they finished up with after 60 or so minutes. Ed O'Reilly with the goal. Soda Lohan got a point, and Kate Canning got 2. The last one coming there with the last kick of the game. Wexford march on, as we mentioned, to play Kildare next week, and what will probably be a dress rehearsal for the League Division 3 final. Longford will play Clare at home in the last game of Division 3, trying to hang on to Division 3 status for the year. It won't be an easy one, but that's where they go next. I've been Paul Jenkins. Thanks very much for your company here. Thanks for joining us. The final score here was Wexford 7-8, Longford 1-3.